I was just meditating. DDawg Dawson here, showing you how to make an origami box with a lid that fits just right. Now, if I can only get out of here, I'll be able to show you. Okay, in order to make an origami gift box with a lid that fits just right, you're going to need a pair of scissors and 2 sheets of paper that are square. This happens to be 9-inch white drawing paper, which I like because it holds up very well. It's pretty sturdy. Or you could use 8.5 by 11 square copy paper, which works fine too. The box that I made with this 9-inch square paper is this little box right here. And what's so cool about this, of course, is the fact that these 2 sheets of paper are exactly the same size, but it's how you fold the cover paper, which makes it a little bit wider so the lid fits right over it. And it's easy enough to do. This box happens to be 3 inches square and it's 1.5 inches deep. Alright, let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is take one of the sheets of paper. I'm going to fold the paper up in half. Match it up on top, hold it like this, press it down this way, give it a really good crease with your thumbnail, and then open it and turn it and do that again. Open it, take one of your corners and bring it right into the center, just like this. Right where the lines intersect, where they cross over. You want to make sure that this corner is exactly in the center and give it a good crease. Notice what's happening here. When I bring this corner up, it creates a triangle and it also covers this entire space. And I've also lost these creases right here. You can't see these creases once this edge covers it. That's something just to be aware of. I'm going to lower this back, turn the paper, we'll bring another corner up, in corner 3 and 4. I'm going to bring the 2 sides in and leave the top up only because it's a little easier for me to see what I'm doing. And it sort of looks like an envelope. I'm going to hold on to these 3 triangles of paper so they don't move. I'm taking a hold of the bottom and I'm rolling it up very slowly so it comes right to the center. And make sure you go straight up and you're not going crooked like this. And give it a good crease. Press real hard now, the paper's a little thicker. And then lower this down, bring this down, give it a 1/4 of a turn, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do the same thing on all 4 sides. Okay, when I open these up, the paper will look like this. Now there's a square that's inside of this with an X running through. And I've taken a ruler and a pencil and I've actually gone over that for you so you'd be able to see that just a little better. And if you look at yours, you'll be able to compare the 2 and see that there's that X. There's another thing too that I've noticed is there's 2 rectangles right here and this small triangle. So I've taken my ruler and I've made a line here and here to show you that there's 2 rectangles here and here's that small triangle. The other thing I did was I took a turquoise marker, just happen to like the color, that's the only reason, and I've started right from the color here, right from the corner here, and I've drawn this line from the corner of the true box straight down and from the corner of the true box straight down here. And as you can see, we have the 2 rectangles in the corner triangle. I'm going to turn the paper and make another line here with my marker. I'll make another one here. Match these up. And again, take my ruler and connect this and this. I'm going to call this rectangle 2 and rectangle 1. Do the same thing on this side. And again, there's that X running through the middle. Alright, this is to help you to see where to cut. Now, of course, you don't need to do all this business, but as long as you know that we're cutting on the turquoise lines, that's the most important thing. And here, you could consider this north and south if you want, or top and bottom. But the important thing is to make sure that you cut the opposite ends and that we don't end up cutting the left side and the right side as well. Otherwise, it's going to fall apart. So I'm going to take a hold of this and I'm going to cut right up here. So notice that I'm cutting right on the crease, and I'm cutting past rectangle 1, past rectangle 2, and I'm stopping when I get to the corner of the true box. I'll do the same thing on this side. And it looks like this. Now these remind me of tongues, and I think of these two flaps as angelfish. I'm going to bring the corners of the angelfish just like this. I'm going to raise these up and lower this down so these two corners cover the X. Notice they go right to the center of the paper. Alright, take a look at that again. Just like this. I'm also going to stand these sides up like this. And by standing the sides up, I'm creating my box. Now keep your eye on this square right here because, again, this is the size of the true box. So let's bring these down again, stand these up. Notice that we have this flap right here. I'm going to bend this down so you can see it. And this flap, when you bring them together and overlap them, notice that they create the third side of the box. So I'm going to do that again to show you. This comes in like this, stand this up, bring these two sides in, overlap one over the other, hold them together, bring up the tongue, put it over and down just like this, and we already have created the third side of the box. Now I'm going to turn it so you can see this. I'm going to bend it this way, bend this right here. Notice that it's being bent right at the corner of the true box. It's not being bent way up here, but it's being bent right there. So I'm going to overlap these two together, bring this up over and down, and there you go. Now I could always put a small piece of Scotch tape right there to hold it together. Sometimes you need to. Now this is the bottom of the box. And I want to show you what makes the cover differently is this. Take your second sheet of paper and again proceed the same way, fold it up in half just like this. Open it, turn it. When we open it, we have the 4 squares again. Now the only difference is when I take a corner, instead of putting it right in the very center like I did the last time, I'm going to pull back just a tiny bit like this, just enough to show this crease. We have a crease here and a crease here, and if I pull it back just a little bit, now you can see the crease. And it's a very small amount. I would say it's like as thick as a potato chip. So crease that, open it, turn it. We'll do another one, bring it up to the center, pull it back just a tiny bit like this. And let's do the third and the fourth. Okay. Now when we pull them all in together, notice there is a space now running through. And it creates like a road running through. Alright? So we're going to then proceed to do the exact same thing. I'm going to just open this up like this, pull these in together, and then just bring it up and just fold it. Alright, do the same thing here. And here's another one. And one more. So it's still doing the exact same thing, the way we're folding it. And we're going to cut it the same way too. We'll take our scissor and we'll start from here. And we're going to cut right up to the corner of the box. Right? And make sure that we do the exact same thing on this side, the other side. Start right from there and cut up to there. And there's this one, corner of the true box. I'll bring the sides in so the corners meet right in the center. I'm going to fold this up like this. Take these flaps, overlap them, take the tongue, lift it up, over, and down, and do the same thing here. I'm going to fold these in. And notice that it's being folded right here where the corner of the true box is. I'm not folding it way up here. I'm folding it right there. I'm going to overlap these two and then pull this up, over, and down. So it's just like this. So here we have our box. We have our gift box, we have a cover, we have the bottom of the box, the cover fits right over it just right, just snug enough, and it's a nice fit. So there you go.